Hey VC, in early July, I made a trip to visit my parents who live in Northern California. When I went away for college, I thought that my mom did have a yard sale and tried to sell all my records. And there are a lot that were sold, but there were a lot that were left, and I thought they had just been chucked. I thought they threw them away. I found a huge cache of them while I was there, though, and I managed to bring a few back. So I'm going to try and go through this fast so this isn't like a 30-minute video. A lot of these records I have repurchased since starting to collect again, but it's okay. So this is probably one of my favorite records of all time, Patsy Cline Showcase. This copy itself right here, my dad bought it in when it came out, which I don't know when that is, 1960, maybe even a little bit earlier. So this copy I've had around for most of my life, and it's one of my absolute favorite records. So I'll just move on. I don't really have an order for these, except that the Joni Mitchell ones are at the end. So this is Talking Heads, Little Creatures, one of my favorite records of all time. I listened to this when I was in college a million times. And it's just come out, had a repress recently, and I bought one for, not much, maybe $12 or $13. I have this great discount store that pretty much has, half price on records, new records. So now I have two copies of this, which is fine. It's interesting that the repress, the blues are lighter, so the sky's a lighter blue than the original. I found that interesting. Some interesting choices of music back then, and some interesting choices for me to bring back with me. Olivia Newton-John, she was huge in the 70s and 80s, and that's when I was a kid. So, I just saw this at Tower Records. I don't know if the date's on that. I'm going to look real fast. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So, I paid $18.99 for this in probably 1980 or so. That's kind of a lot for records. It's a double LP. It's got some damage, but I thought it was lost forever. So the next one is Olivia Newton-John again, If Not For You. This is an alternative cover. It used to be worth a lot of money. I don't think it is now. I gave it a spin when I got it back home, and I mean, am I the biggest Olivia Newton-John fan? No, but she had a nice voice. Her songs were a little cheesy, but at the time, I mean, you just couldn't find a bigger star. So, I was a kid. I was a little girl. What did I know? Stevie Nicks Talk to Me. I had the first two solo Stevie Nicks albums, so when I saw this, I was like, oh, awesome. I also purchased her first two solos as well, but I didn't have this one, so this is the one I brought back. Fleetwood Mac Rumors. It's kind of hilarious that I didn't have a copy of this. This interesting. I paid $1.50 for it. Is that 1984? It is 1984. I don't know what that store is. So now I have a copy of Rumors. More Fleetwood Mac. I thought this had a sticker. Yeah, I don't know how much I paid for this back in the 80s. Who knows? A copy of The Graduate. I brought this back. The music from this movie is amazing, and the movie is amazing. So, I just decided to bring it back with me. Steve Martin, Let's Get Small. I have the other big one, Wild and Crazy Guy. Is that what that album's called? I can't think of it right now, but I just decided to bring this back. I listened to this recently, and it holds up pretty well. There is another record in here that doesn't hold up nearly as well. We'll get to it soon. Okay, so Dinah Washington. This is cool. This belonged to my mom, and Dinah Washington is, a great jazz singer, right? And when I was growing up, my mom listened to a lot of Andy Williams and Tony Orlando and Dawn and stuff like that. So to see that she also liked Dinah Washington at some point in her life was really cool to me. And she back in the day, we used to write her names on records because we loaned them to people, so we wanted to make sure we could get them back. So my mom wrote her name on the back of this record, and I think it's cool. You know, my mom is she's older now, not in the best health, so this will just be something that I have as a memory of her that will be a very pleasant memory. My one and only, George Gershwin. I love musicals. I saw My One and Only in San Francisco when I was, I don't know, in high school, 14 or 15 years old maybe. And I just love musicals. I love Tommy Tune as well. So yeah, I bought this back in the day at Tower Records for $7.99. It says right there on the price that is still attached. I listened to it. It holds up pretty well. Wayne Shorter, Atlantis, slowly but surely becoming, you know, more of a music aficionado as a 17 or 18-year-old. You know, this is not Olivia Newton-John, right? We're getting into some cool stuff. So I don't remember buying this, but I was glad to find it in the stack. Hotel California, my parents bought this record when it came out in the 70s. And, you know, I'm serious that my mom listened to like Andy Williams. That was her big thing. So for them to buy Hotel California was kind of odd, except that Hotel California was, you know, the smash success single, and everyone bought this album, so including my parents. So I'm glad to have it. It's actually a good album. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles. You know, I go with the dude. The Eagles kind of suck, but Hotel California is one of those songs that has always just made a big impact on me. Again, learning, you know, becoming a better music fan. Bob Dylan, you know, miles away from Joni Mitchell. Not Joni Mitchell. God, what a slip up. Miles away from Olivia Newton-John. Blood on the Tracks. One of my very favorite songs, probably top 3 songs of all time, is Tangled Up in Blue. And that's probably why I bought this. And I don't remember when I bought it, but I was happy to find it. Juice Newton, again, you know, I was a kid. Let's see how much this was. $11.99 at Tower Records, with the Obi strip on it. I haven't listened to this, but you know, I was a huge Juice Newton fan in high school. So at some point I was in Tower Records and saw this and went, oh, you know, an alternate pressing, how interesting, I'll pick it up. So yeah, I'll give it a spin sometime soon. Blondie, I love this record. I love Blondie to begin with, but this record in particular, I just played to death. So I'm happy to have found it. I haven't come across this since I've started collecting again. So I was happy to find this in the stack. Maybe some questionable music taste, but yeah, Rick Springfield's Success hasn't spoiled me yet. I think I probably have, Working Class Dog. You know, these were huge. These were huge in the 80s, right? Especially Jesse's Girl. So, yeah, these are the only 2 Rick Springfields that I had as a kid, but, you know, they were huge. They were huge hits. Kate Bush, The Whole Story, this is kind of the greatest hits of Kate Bush. Always have been a huge fan of Kate Bush. And this is one of the albums that I had. And then I also had, I did take a stash of records with me, and Hounds of Love is one of the ones that I've always had with me for the last 30 years. And it's the purple, or the, what color is it? Gray and lavender marble. I should have pulled it out so I could show it, but I had this one as well, and I was glad that it was still there. This was one of my dad's records, and I know it was re-released recently, or excuse me, it had a reissue maybe 3 or 4 years ago and was pretty big seller just for, a few years ago. What song is on this that I like so much? I'm just trying to look. I can't remember what the song is I like so much, and it's not one that's listed because that's what I was looking for here. Do I love this album? No, but did I grow up seeing this cover all the time? Yeah, so I grabbed it and brought it back with me. Pat Benatar, I've always loved Pat Benatar. This was $8.99. I don't know where I bought it. It doesn't have the Tower Records thing on it, so maybe it was the Warehouse. The Warehouse was a big store in the 80s in Northern California anyway. Robin Williams, Reality, what a concept. This probably sold like 5 million records, if not more. It does not hold up well. He does some questionable stuff. He says some stuff that is pretty much not okay to do these days. So, and I understand he's a comedian, but stuff that's like racist and stuff is just not okay. So, does not hold up. Does not hold up. Period. We'll just leave it at that. Journey. I'm from Northern California. Journey is one of the biggest bands. In the 80s, you just couldn't turn on the radio in Northern California without hearing Journey. So brought this home. Then this Whitney Houston, this thing is gem mint, man. The cover is mint. The record is mint. It's got the hype sticker. Apparently I got caught up in all of the great songs that she had on this album, and I went ahead and bought it. I don't think of myself as a huge Whitney Houston fan, though she does, of course, have a wonderful voice. Then I think we get into Joni at this point. Yeah, so I took this out of the sleeve because I wanted to show the condition, because it's near mint. It's got a little bit of wear, but it's hard to find these in this condition, and it's a second pressing, but it's this was played to death because it's one of the best records ever, and two, with the dark blue, it usually gets a lot of wear on it, a lot of ring wear, and finding one in this condition is pretty hard. So it's cool that this was just sitting for 30 years, staying in good condition. So it's on the Reprise label, and I'm just gonna pull it out of the way. That's my cat playing. Hejira, one of one of the best albums ever. It's got my favorite song of all time, Coyote, on it. This also, I think, is a second pressing. Yeah, so it's on this different Asylum label than we're used to seeing. And I went ahead and brought back a few of the things that are just on the different Asylum label. So I think, I didn't look around a lot, but I think they're second pressings. Shadows and Light, I love this album. I've played this album to death over the last, whenever it came out, 1980. Something like that. The version of Coyote on this is my favorite version of Coyote that I've ever heard. All right, moving along. We have Dog Eat Dog. I can really see my reflection in the thing. I don't like to show myself on the YouTube. Maybe I'll talk about that really quickly. I have an ex who stalks me, and she caught up with me just a few months ago and tried to start stalking me again. So even though, I don't go by One Take Charlie anywhere else, but I still just have this fear that she's going to catch up with me. It's been a while, and she still tries. So yeah, that's the reason I don't show myself on YouTube, because I don't know. I just feel like she's out there searching. So anyway, Dog Eat Dog, Joni Mitchell. It's a great album. Was completely panned at the time, but it's a wonderful album. And then I've got a couple of 10-inch singles from Dog Eat Dog. This is Good Friends. It was, I paid $2.49. I was just looking to see if the date was on there, and it doesn't look like it is. I'm running out of room. This is Shiny Toys. I paid $1 for it. I don't know where. Those are my only two 12-inch singles that I have of Joni, but they're pretty unusual. This is Mingus. Is this on the different label as well? It is. Yeah, I brought these back just because they're on the different Asylum label. So I just, for me, for my collection, it's unusual. I didn't have any of those in what I've repurchased over the last 6 or 7 years that I've been collecting again. Clouds, Joni Mitchell, great, amazing album. This is her painting, homage to Saskatoon, homage to Saskatchewan, where she's from. That's the Bessborough Hotel in the back there. That's the Saskatchewan River. That's, what is it, a red lily? That's the official flower of Saskatchewan. A number of years ago, I went to Saskatoon. I was going there to watch a women's hockey tournament, and I did the whole Joni Mitchell tour while I was there too. Like, I went by her childhood home, went under, if you know Joni Mitchell, if you know the lyrics, I did all the things, right? I went under the Broadway Bridge. I went to Maidstone. I went to, what's the line in Coyote? I probably won't remember it because I'm so bad at remembering stuff. On the way to Belgenny, near my old hometown, I went to Belgenny, which is an unincorporated area, and it doesn't even have a sign. So, like, I turned off on a road, and then turned on another road, and none of it was marked. Like, there were no road signs or anything. So Belgenny is really hard to figure out how to get to it. And then when you're there, it's like, wait, is this it? I think this must be it. So yeah, I did all of those things. Just about any line that you can think of, I did. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, this, I love this album, and it's a beautiful self-portrait, and if you were just to look at it, you have to know, like, sort of the iconography behind it, right? So the lily, the hotel that's in downtown Saskatoon, the Saskatchewan River, the Broadway Bridge, which isn't in this painting, but you get the idea. All right. Ladies of the Canyon. My cats are chasing each other around. So if you just saw a movement, it's because my cat Jack just jumped up on the back of the chair. I have 2 copies of this, both of them not in great shape. So I went ahead and brought this one back. I think it's just the regular reprise. Yeah, there's nothing. Oops, there I am. Oop, my stalker is going to find me. It's just a regular reprise label, but it's in better shape than the 2 that I had, so I went ahead and brought this back as well. And then, is this the last one already? Yeah. So this is Chalkmark in a Rainstorm, an album that I also love. The copy that I had here originally has a scratch on the second side, so I was like, I'll bring this one back. This will be an upgrade. I love this album too. There's no Joni album that I don't like, but she does a duet with Peter Gabriel. This album is just bomb. If you've never heard of it, if you think the late 80s, early 90s Joni records are not any good, you're wrong. They're awesome. And this is one. This is Of all of them, this is the one I'd recommend. If you are doubtful that late 80s, early 2000s Joni's is good, pick up this one and listen to it because it's amazing. All right. So yeah, like I said, these are records that I found at my parents' house. I found a little stash of them. A lot of things were still there, which was great. Just some like I'm trying to think of what wasn't there. Of course, nothing's going to pop into my head. I had the two Cheech and Chong albums. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a number of things that I know did sell in the yard sale, but apparently it was, after the vinyl crash when everyone was buying CDs, and so no one at the yard sales was picking up stuff, which is great. It's a great bonus for me. There are more records there that I'm going to try and bring back with me slowly but surely, but it'll definitely take a while. So, all right, that's it for now. Peace out, vinyl community.